Okay, are we on?
Yeah.
Are we sure it's on, Daniel?
I'm gonna do one more double check.
Triple check.
That one's recording.
And I must commend you guys because we are trying to make every bit of space in this office work. You know, the viewers probably cannot see this. This is an absolutely tiny room. We've got stuff jam-packed into here. And to have this type of scene, I suppose. And here I am sitting in this porn star-esque type of lounge.
Godfather chair.
It's like, today we will reflect on the year that was porn 2023. It's been quite an interesting year, quite a long and windy year, right? And we've done a lot, we've achieved a lot. And as a team, I think we've gone through some ups and downs, and we finally sort of now have condensed down to the awesome twosome. I wanted to take this moment to, you know, to highlight you guys a little bit, highlight the marketing department a little bit, show the good folks who are actually behind the cameras. I mean, a lot of the good folks know your face, Daniel, because you have been an active participant,
Right.
because you probably speak with the clearest voice, right? And you're much more photogenic than most of us in this.
That's true.
but Jerry, I must say, he's got his little flair. But
Definitely.
you know, for all those viewers, you know, have seen him in some of the little sort of cameo roles.
Yeah, he's showed up a few
So
times.
Ela, we got scammed. We lost everything.
So Jerry's the other 50% of the videography team. You know, much of the cinematics has really been done under your guidance and supervision.
In regards to Jerry, I think the thing he's brought the most is vision. The direction he's brought to TGL and our content has been absolutely amazing. I think leaps and bounds every time. You know, we're always striving to do more, and that's a big part of his vision.
There's never lack of enthusiasm from Jerry.
Definitely.
Right.
It's because of, you know, like, I'm glad that I'm working here where I got that liberty to, you know, freedom to show our skill. It's not just about me, it's about Daniel as well. And I'm thankful to Daniel that he appreciates me. And the best part is that it's like a teamwork. So if Daniel wasn't there, I'm alone, I couldn't achieve, we couldn't achieve anything, you know, like, and on top of that, if you couldn't have those permissions to film those stuff, you never have seen those stuff
Some
on
wild
YouTube channel.
ideas, some wild ideas.
Sometimes it's just easier just to go, shoot it. Stop bugging me with, you know, just shoot it. But before we, I think, go on, I think, you know, I wanted to take this, you know, year wrap up and celebrate a little bit for all of our accomplishments and achievements. We pushed out some solid content.
I think if you compared even to the previous years, I think we've more than like tripled the amount of content we've been putting out.
So this is why I sort of made it a bit more into a sort of adults only segment where we're going to indulge a little bit of rum, a diplomatical reserva exclusiva rum, and then we're going to pop open a virgin box of Cubans, QD54s. Allow me to pour you guys some. Yes.
Oh, appreciate it.
Let's have a cheers to 2023.
I cannot wait to try this.
Cheers.
It's such a pleasant tea flavor.
Yes, very earthy tea.
Yeah, very earthy tea. There's so much floral.
That's beautiful.
Floral. There's, I can taste. Oh, geez, rose. I can taste rose. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, you know. So I suppose over the years you've tried a lot of different examples of alcohol, and therefore, once you try enough, you know what is good and what is crap.
Definitely.
You know? So you need the quantity before you go to quality.
Yeah, I was similar. I had no idea. Like, someone would get me a really expensive whiskey and I'd pour it with Coke. Like, what?
Oh, what are you talking about, man?
So I'm used to like wild turkey and stuff, but when you start trying different scotches and whiskeys and rums, you start to get an acquired taste. I realized how blasphemous I was.
Well, you know, everybody goes through that journey.
Yeah.
Daniel, everybody goes through it. Anyone that tells you they didn't go through the journey is a complete fibber.
Whoa.
10 of the most beautifully wrapped Coup de say, I can never pronounce it, I butcher it.
They're hefty.
So just call it QD54s. Okay?
Oh my God.
Daniel?
Wow. Oh my God,
It's
yeah.
gonna be strong, definitely.
Yeah, so strong.
Now a quaint cigars, a nice drop with special moments, company, and talking to people. And this is why smoking cigars is not smoking. It's more a ceremony.
Yeah.
This is hand rolled by someone, you know. And each smoke, if, you know, depending on the size and the type of cigar, has a time frame.
Yeah.
That tells you should smoke this particular cigar between 30, 35 minutes, 60 minutes, even some might go up to 2.5 hours.
You're right.
So you want to make sure you're sitting next to people you can handle
Definitely.
for 30 minutes or 2 hours. Because if you hang out with someone, you get bored after 10 minutes. Don't like that cigar. You're just going to be sitting there going, like, you know, so it's so important. So it becomes a bit of a ceremony. And because I'm getting a bit older, I don't go to clubs anymore. For me, it's about finding friends, working with good folks like you, having this moment and opening up that virgin box. Here you go.
Thanks.
Daniel,
Thank you.
it's so meditative. I'm just sort of almost like mesmerized by it.
In a trance.
In a trance. That's a very good use of that word, exactly.
So if you compare 2022 with 2023, what is the biggest, like good thing you have seen?
You know, I think we've all worked very intensively together in a very condensed manner because, you know, due to the breadth of all the content that we pushed out. We had podcasts, we had, you know, promo videos, we had community videos, we had learn how to videos, we had watch logistics,
Events.
we had news,
Yes.
Company videos,
yes.
you know, we had company events, we went to trade shows. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff to achieve what we have achieved. Like most of our competitors, for example, they will not have an internal marketing department.
Yep.
From a small, independent Australian freight forwarder business, we're one of very few that have invested our energy and resources into creating this digital media presence. I'm quite proud, you know, we're sort of head and shoulders above most of our competitors. I've always said to you guys, you know, let's look at what DHLs are doing, the FedExes are doing, let's see the marketing they're doing,
Yep.
because we can do better.
Yeah.
Looking at their marketing, you know, we're comparing some of the biggest players in the world in our
giants,
industry.
yeah.
But from a marketing standpoint, we got maybe 0.01% of their budget,
Yeah.
but we're punching above our weight. And you
Exactly.
know what? That makes me happy, and it should make you two very, very happy.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Like production, like budget they have is to a different level. Probably the amount of people they have working on it, the amount of money they put into it and stuff. But again, it comes back to vision. It comes back to that effort and that passion. We're not just doing it blindly.
No,
You know, we've
exactly.
got something. We want to do something special. We want to
Yep.
make an impact.
Exactly. We can do the work and we can put our best effort into it, and we produce a good bit of video or a promotion, or we have a good outing at a trade show. That's our day job. But over and above that, from an individual standpoint, you guys must realize that. And the reason why I invested into marketing so many years ago, if no one was doing it, you know you're onto something. I started believing in digital marketing when, you know, cold calling, door knocking, selling, active using salespeople selling was still very much the norm. And everybody was going towards this digital space.
Yeah.
And if you weren't in the digital space, you're not going to be counted for one.
You get left behind.
And look at all of us today. When e-commerce first came, people go, oh, you can buy a shirt, but you'll never buy a couch. That was the thinking. And I'm like, okay, you want to bet? Right? This was back in the days, you know, nobody was selling furniture, right?
Yeah.
Online, for example. This is just one crude example. And then everything changed. And just look how our consumer patterns are now.
Yep.
Okay? Compared to the amount of times you bought something online versus in store, I'm just so happy that we started this journey and it's coming together. It's like, you know, I built this, you know, sort of thing, you know, like, and of course, not me when I say that, we built this.
Of course, yeah.
This is the encouragement I've always given to you guys. You know, we're doing this in an industry where nobody, even today, are hardly doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
I used to get door knocked by marketing agencies and advertising agencies all the time. Oh, can we do your marketing? We can do this. And I entertain a few of them. And they'll come and sit down with me and then pretend they cared. And then you look at the portfolio of clients, beer, fashion, cosmetics. It's easy to market a product.
Of course, yeah.
Try to market an industry that nobody actually understands.
Yeah. I
And
didn't
they all
understand it.
fail miserably
Yeah.
because they don't know. And all these marketing people, video, they're just so in tune with such a narrow tangent of industries. So the only way was to have our own people. Why? Because the best people to market is you have to know the industry.
Yeah.
Even with yourselves, you know, by us doing news and so forth, you guys have to do some research. Even through the years of you guys being so intensely doing the work, you now actually probably understand more about this industry from a marketing perspective than your average Joe on the street.
Definitely, yeah.
So from that unique marketing skill set, how many of your contemporaries
Could say the same
can
thing.
say the same thing?
No.
Can you know?
No shot.
How many can hold a hand? No one.
shot.
Sure, they can market Heineken, very good. They can market Chanel, very good. They can market Rolex, very good. But there's a million more people coming through the ranks every year wanting to market that stuff.
I think a big part of that is they have like almost like a formula. They have like a recipe of how to do it. All the agencies and all that stuff, they have a similar way of doing things. This sort of what we've done is reminds me of like Frank Sinatra's song. You know, I did it my way, you know? That's how I feel about what we did. We
That's
figured
a very
it out.
classical reference to a very, very good song.
I'm in a classical mood. But that's how I feel about this. You know, we've made mistakes. We try do some trial and error, but we did it our way. We had our own vision. We're not doing things because it's the way industry does it.
You guys are smoking like bosses. Look at the ash on there. Absolute bosses. Well done. Well done.
Cheers.
Absolutely well done.
But I guess, yeah, what I was saying was that like other agencies, even if they tried to capture logistics or industries that they don't know, the authenticity isn't there.
No, it's not there.
And-
Absolutely not.
And people are smart. People can read through that bullshit. Whether it doesn't matter how good the video looks, if it's not authentic, if it's not coming from the heart of the people making it, they can read through it. It's just another video.
Even the biggest problem with marketing agencies, even in everywhere here, is they don't have their own, TV production department. What they do, they win your account and they have some, video production companies, tie with them.
Yeah.
So they pass on your content to them. So that's another thing I've seen here, like with the marketing agency. Those companies who have their marketing agency, they're just gonna create some good, content for you, for your Instagram,
This is going to be very obnoxious and arrogant. I don't think there's another marketing team out there for this industry in our marketplace in Australia that actually knows more about marketing this industry and the SEOs, all the good stuff that comes with it, than this team. I very strongly believe in that. We all start from nothing and then we try to become something.
Yeah.
What makes some of us better than others is that hunger and willingness. Okay, it's just like a car with the gas in the tank. Some tanks are bigger than others, but invariably most tanks will run out. As you get older, the echelon, the pyramid becomes it's narrow and narrow to the top. Why? Because it's only the very, very few that even when their tank runs out, they still create another tank and push through. But it's just how much you want to push yourself. That's what's going to separate you compared with your peers.
It's similar, like I've heard that always like with the gym. You're in the gym and all that stuff, you feel like you can't do it anymore. But when you mentally push through, you realize you can. But we're sort of like almost hardwired to stop. We've reached that limit to where we stop and we have so much more potential. And I feel like it's very similar.
Absolutely. So the key here then is like, you look at someone like Jerry, with, Jerry, you always have this get up and go, push and push. Great. But if I can give you a bit of advice, is understand that you have a tank. You need to pace yourself. Don't over exert yourself to a point of exhaustion, because that becomes the rabbit and the tortoise. You're gonna run and you're like, then this stop start will kill motivation.
Much like a cigar. You don't want to burn out.
I agree with you, La. 100% I agree with you. But I don't know, like maybe 3 or 4 people who knows me, maybe from my family, they're gonna look at that and they know about this stuff. I'm not a perfect marketing guy, you know. I have done that, but I never count myself a marketing, great. I can say that I'm a good filmmaker, first of all. And that something is not that I choose that, field because I just want to. That something was in me when even I was like 7-8 years of age. My father had bought me one reel camera, which only work in the sunlight. So I used to take pictures with that and I asked my father to go and print. Since that time, I'm in this field and I'm trying to work harder and harder and improve my skill, but I want to see myself in coming 10-15 years in Hollywood, to making some like film. That's my main mission, like last mission, that I'm gonna create a film, whether in Australia or somewhere else, where I can distribute it to, like on Netflix or Amazon Prime or somewhere. So that's where I want to be. For that, it's a long race. I have to run really fast, otherwise someone else will gonna win. So that's kind of a race of mine with myself.
You guys are big personality. Even Daniel was such a lovely, soft guy. He's still, in his own way, he's a very big personality guy.
I'm glad that I've got like a colleague like Daniel, because when I joined TGL, everything was new for me because I wasn't familiar with logistics industry. That was my first, opportunity to work in a logistics company. So he guided me very well, like this is what we've been doing, this is what the company flavor. There's a flavor for every company, what kind of a content company produce. So he helps me in that. And it's been like over 1.5 years I'm with him, so I saw him growing in front of my eyes as well. So he was before like purely like editor, then he enhanced his skills as an editor, then jump onto the music side and then to the camera side.
True.
So it's really good, and the way he learned.
Absolutely, and I 100% agree with that. Your skills when you join is maybe less than a quarter of what it is today.
Yeah.
You have always been strong on your editing side. However, it wasn't at my wavelength.
Yeah.
Let's call it that. And through our collaboration, now you understand what I'm looking for. This is what I really enjoyed working with you, Daniel. You are a dependable individual, okay? But just don't go buying watches from Facebook, seeing your Facebook.
And I feel like this comes to you, La, because I've made a lot of mistakes. You've given us, both of us, but especially like me, I found a lot of room to grow, and I've made mistakes. I've tripped, I've fallen multiple times.
I've got a lot of opportunities here, like when it comes to marketing, I was pure film guy. I know about marketing, I've studied marketing, but I got the opportunity and I tried to, do my best to learn and deliver. So yeah, the opportunity I got from TGL.
Well, guys, like luckily I've got half a sense of your area. Like I might not know how to do it, but I have some sense.
Yeah.
I believe in second chances, right? Most people say, yeah, you do it once, never do it again. No, that's a bit hard. That's not realistic. It means practice.
Yes.
But the motivation, hunger has to be there. You guys have the unique head start in this industry doing what you do.
Yeah.
Very unique. And it can only get better from here.
It's a matter of, do you want to build upon something or do you want to be a part of the foundation? And
you want to start the ground level,
exactly.
man.
Exactly.
Ground level. To create this and grow it with you guys and see how you guys have grown and produce what we produce. Sometimes I sit back and I just go, quietly to myself.
Yes.
Don't stop, rock the block, cause once we get started, then we just can't stop. And when you see the Lamborghini, then you know what's up, because cheap is cheap.
Let's each share a highlight of 2023.
I have a lot of highlights. I have to choose
Alright,
one.
would you like to start, Jared?
No, I think you started.
There's been absolutely a lot. The amount of events, I don't think we have a tally, but the events we've done, I'm really proud of. And the progression. I feel like just, if you look at, even if you go to the beginning of the year to the end of the year, the progression of it is pretty outstanding, I think.
Achieving so many different formats has been the highlight for you.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah. So highlight for you, Jerry?
For me, a lot of things, but especially the way we ended up with, like the event, especially the wrap-up video and the customer portal video and all that stuff. For me, whatever we have done, we have achieved, it's within us. But that's something everyone has looked at that at the event and the way they were kind of appreciating the effort of the company.
Yeah. That was a team effort, that video.
Yeah.
And I was so proud to see everybody participate, and everybody did such a good job. From ops to IT, the structure, the music,
Everything.
I agree with you on that one. Yes, yes, that would be my.
It's
highlight.
like more motivation for IT team as well, because when whatever they have done, it looks good on that, but on the big screen, 2D, 3D animation, when they're looking their efforts like that, yeah, that's a proud moment for them as well. As a company,
That's
it's for
really well
everyone.
said. That's really well said.
Yeah.
Showcasing not only marketing,
Yeah.
but showcasing what
Everybody.
everyone's done.
Because they are like
Give
kind of-
everyone their highlight.
They're
Yeah.
kind of
Everybody.
unsung heroes.
Yeah.
So we've set ourselves a pretty high benchmark now. And next year is an important year because next year is TGL's 10th
10
year.
years.
Which means that knowing that this video is just, but let's call it dress rehearsal, next year is going to be the main event.
We have done a lot of things, but there are like few people in Pakistan is part of our
Yes.
kind of marketing department, part of TGL.
Yeah.
They have done their best part as well in like all that kind of small success. Like
Yeah.
whatever we have done, I want to thank them.
And they joined pretty late in the year, and the growth from even when they joined.
That's right. That's right.
was a
Well, I
huge
was going
jump.
to actually come to that because obviously we newly created our Pakistani in-house team, not outsourced, in-house team, because we went to the trouble of you went back to Pakistan, establishing a business there to hire our own people to contribute from animation to
Designing,
so
marketing.
design to Google to SEO. That has been very instrumental to our accomplishments. If it wasn't for their skill sets, we would not have again achieved the
100%.
quality of the video that we have.
110%.
Let's talk about this movie that you guys have shot. It's the boys coming together, showing off a bit the cinematography behind it all, the acting from Daniel. It's their guilty pleasure. Let's call it that. It's your guilty pleasure to go and actually do something completely off tangent by way of a short film. But at the same time, I've already viewed it, obviously, having a very wholesome, fresh and creative way of delivering the Happy New Year message.
And I'm really motivated, optimistic that we have a chance that we may be nominated into the category in film festival, because that's a special event film, like for New Year.
All of the skill sets necessary to produce that short film is what we have been adopting throughout this year when we produce content. For example, color grading. For example, tempo with music, not just using one long running music.
Different music,
putting music addressing to the scene, the vocals, all of that. You guys have really pieced it together. But I feel when you guys do what you do, be a creative, everything has to be an expression of you. Expression of your standards, no one else's standards. Now, your standards could be hated by everybody, but guess what? If that's your standard, the only person you should keep happy, first and foremost, is yourself. You look at the outliers who have gone against the grain, that have gone on a limbs. And I'm sure most of those folks that have gone on a limb have failed so miserably that we don't even know of them. But the few that make it, we see them, right? Elon Musk,
Yeah.
he's made some terrible decisions.
Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
But he's an outlier.
Yeah.
You can't take that outlier away from him. There's a lot of YouTube personalities who's gone against the grain, where the entire world community have gone against them. But one could argue that, you know what? They're doing what they want to do.
Consistency is the key in that. I would like to add that as well.
Well said.
Some people, they try to create X factor, they try to do some unique when
Yes.
it comes to content or any business,
Yes.
when they feel that they're not getting that much,
Yes.
attention, attraction, they say, that's not a good plan.
Yes.
That's the time where you have to decide, I have to
Yes.
stick with that. So
Yes.
whoever, like Elon Musk, all these guys, they might have Jeff Bezos, they might have failed at their beginning, they might have shut their business or their whatever they're doing, but they stick to that because they have a belief in that, whatever they were doing. So now look at them, what they are doing. Because they knew that from the very first stage, this is what I'm doing, no one else is doing. And right now it's not paying me, but after 10 years, 15 years, I'm gonna be Picasso of that.
Yes. Well, and let's not forget, if you embark on the journey of constantly staying true to what you really want, it can be a very lonely, isolating path.
Yeah.
right? Some of the greatest artists only became great after their death. Van Gogh is a great example, right? In fact, there's many artists, we're talking about the creatives, who were nobody, if not broke, prior to their deaths. And then suddenly they become popular after their deaths.
Yeah.
So what is it, you know? You might ask, well, how does Van Gogh feel? I'm pretty confident Van Gogh, he didn't care because he just continued to do what he wanted to do.
It's important to him.
Yep.
And therefore, when he left, doesn't matter about the money in the bank account, it was just like, you know what? I have been me.
Yeah.
This is my time.
Authenticity always goes back to that, and that's what people saw after. They see his artworks. They see, they can see into it. It's not just he chucked some art on a thing.
That was popular at the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I would like to add an example of James Cameron. James Cameron, when he was like 15 or 16, he was a truck driver. So he was in his truck and waiting for his father to come and drive the truck. And suddenly, the same day he watched Star Wars at that time, first Star Wars. So he wrote down the story of Avatar, that film, at that time.
Wow.
After that, he created Abyss and Terminator and a lot of films. Everyone's keep asking why you have written down that script. It's not possible. He said, I'm waiting for the right time when the technology will gonna be available. Then I'm gonna pull that film off.
So he's a visionary.
Yeah, and when he has done that, Avatar broke the business of Titanic.
It's still the highest grossing film of all time.
Yes.
Avatar.
Now just imagine his thought process, even at the age of 15 or 16, he was in the truck writing down the script and his friend had asked him, what are you writing? It's not possible, alien, all that shit. But he has done that because he was consistent. He knows that, as you mentioned, we all know that as a human, if we are doing something, it's gonna worth it. Right now it's not worth it, that's fine. Just keep doing that and wait for the right time. It's gonna pay you off.
Well, I think we could not have possibly finished this lovely chat as an annual wrap-up, talking about creatives with that story of James Cameron. That actually tied up this whole chat nicely, actually.
Where is the